And I'm John Sable. One person is dead and 3 other in the hospital after an early morning fire at an independent living facility in Lakeland.
Firefighters received a call about the fire at Bella Vista Manors around 4:30 this morning. We have team coverage tonight of this deadly fire and what's next for the residents there. We begin with ABC Action News reporter Jake Peterson, who joins us live from the scene. And Jake, from what I understand, you actually spoke to a neighbor who made the 911 call.
Yeah, I sure did. The neighbor who lives right here in this home behind me says she heard a popping noise around 4:30 this morning. She looked out across the street right up here to this complex, and she said she saw flames coming from the 4th floor.
I grabbed the phone, I called 911. The first thing I thought was that there's elderly people in this building.
Carol Pippin and her mother Lee Smith say they couldn't believe the sight before their eyes.
It's not something you expect at 4 o'clock in the morning. And this is always such a quiet neighborhood.
From the 4th floor, there was visible fire showing.
Battalion Chief Michael Williams says one of the biggest challenges was evacuating more than 40 elderly and disabled people.
Some could walk, some could not. That was the big test here.
Extra first responders helped guide them down the stairs. When all was said and done, everybody except for one was accounted for. That person died in their 4th floor unit. Williams says the fire was challenging to contain because of the building's age.
This building was built, from what I understand, in the early 70s, and it predates the mandates to have the fire sprinklers. So this is an unsprinkled building, and that's a worst case scenario for firefighters.
Which is why Gloria Lawson was especially concerned when she heard the news. Her disabled son lives here.
That's where my mind went. Is everybody out safely?
He's a bit shaken up, but he's safe.
It is a nightmare. He just said that, he's glad he's be safe, and I'm glad that he got out.
3 people were treated for smoke inhalation at a Polk County hospital. And back here live, firefighters telling us that basically this is still under investigation, the cause, but they are saying this is not a suspicious fire. Now, we do not have the name of that victim yet. They plan to release that name tomorrow. Now, to continue our team coverage, Kara Moshik, my colleague, has been out here all day as well. And Kara, I understand you just spoke to someone who was impacted by this fire.
Yeah, really good to hear her story of survival, certainly, and that all these residents are being taken care of. This apartment complex right here is one of several properties, actually, that the management company that owns Bella Vista operates as well. And get this, what's so convenient is Bella Vista is right there, just right down the street, next door, in fact, to the building that burned down are these apartments, and that have been able to relocate several residents that were affected into these units and also to several of the other properties that they own. After the building caught fire and they started those evacuations, they moved everyone to the dining hall, which is just at the end of this corridor here. That's where they kind of sheltered for several hours today until everything could be sorted out. We did talk with one resident who has lived here more than a decade. She says certainly she's thankful to be alive. She did get a chance to actually hear that fire alarm on a system that the company has installed on the residents' cell phones. So she woke up, heard that alarm, and was able to get out safely. They let some of those residents back into the units in the burned building this afternoon to take a look with an escort, get a couple of items, enough for 2 or 3 days worth of medications and also clothing to make it by. Now, that resident says she has nothing but praise for the management here on site and those firefighters for the quick actions they took.
I always thank God every day that I'm alive. Yes. And I'm in a good, safe environment. I've been here at least 12 years, and they take good care of us. And so I don't worry. I know that no matter what happens, that they'll make sure we're all right, we're safe and secure.
Now, ServPro is out here on site cleaning up the affected units. They'll be able to get most of the folks back in within 2 or 3 days. The 4th floor is the worst affected. It could be much longer before those people are allowed to return back to their homes. Reporting live in Lakeland, Kara Moshik, ABC Action News.